I have a topic for us actually. Or a question, where is the most uncomfortable place you gentlemen have had sex?
In a car.
None for me because the fact that I'm having it is like comfortable. Like I'm
That's a
right
political
here.
thing to say. That's a political correct thing to say.
Okay, that's interesting.
What?
Man, maneuverability and stuff in the back seat of a car, bro. It's not very pleasant. Like, Nick, bro. No, you know what I'm saying?
It's up. Like, if you're lying down, like her one leg can go down, but where does the other leg go? Over your shoulder? Like, fuck, where does it go?
It's tricky. Craig, do you remember fucking someone in the car that I wanted to fuck?
That was in the back seat.
Is the person? Wait, what?
Bro, man. This was a funny.
What?
Craig, why did you betray the boy?
No, Craig did not betray the boy.
And you know when Neo was chilling at my place. He was at my fucking my house.
With family, bro. We were together. We were all together. Craig drove this girl home, and on the way home, they pulled over on the side.
It was right outside of the house, bro. Like literally a block away from my house.
Oh my god.
Why? You're savage. Don't do that. You see, it's actually a blessing to the game, man, that your boys are retired now. It's a blessing to the game. Yeah, relax.
I mean, no, look.
I've heard
but in all
the
fairness,
connection is so shit.
No, look, in all fairness though, if homegirl feels like, my nigga, you're taking way too long, she's more than welcome to move on to the next person, is she not?
Yes.
And that's what happened. So, I mean, I can't be mad.
Now, the question went from those two consenting adults, their party doing their stuff, to, oh, am I now gonna feel I have some sort of entitlement towards that? What entitlement do you have towards another person's actions?
Bro, like,
that's actually heavy. I didn't even think about that.
I was too slow.
You know what the crazy thing is, right? Neo.
Yeah.
If you had the car, you would have fucked it. You know that?
Tense.
If you had to send her home.
Tense. Okay, this is not going out.
I was the one that had the car. I was the one that had the place to chill at. I was the one that had everything going for me.
Resources.
Shit.
Yeah, the resources.
When she went home, she was chilling in my room. You all were chilling in Fox's room, smoking there, and she was chilling in my room. So I had all the resources.
That's hectic, bro. That's a pretty so. Yo, shit, man.
I understand. It's tough. I feel like that exact scene, that shit, is again why we can't put any blame on women for thinking a certain way or doing whatever they do, bro. I don't know, however their calculations about the thing, because it is resources. I'm not trying to say us as humans are materialistic, but we kind of are to an extent. We love gold, shiny things.
Look, we need to feel comfortable ourselves. That's all it is. Like, I want to feel comfortable, so obviously I will entertain those that can make me feel comfortable or maintain the comfortability that I currently have. And that is an unfair thing to ask for, in all honesty.
What is good masculinity? Let's trip on that, chap. Because I don't think the feminists, when they invented, or not invented, when they conceptualized toxic masculinity, I don't think they were inherently saying that masculinity is toxic in itself. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what happens, right? So masculine toxic, whatever the fucking word is, it comes from males being on top of the food chain, right? So they're on top of the hierarchy and using that power to their advantage. So what happens if we break down all of the current hierarchies, women build it up from scratch, make it fair, and men still have this trait where they have this masculine toxicity. What's the word?
That's it. Now you hit it. That's it, bro.
What happens then?
So, and that's
no, but I think you are that is still not necessarily what I'm getting at in terms of, I feel like
what is positive or good masculinity?
that thing, masculinity, femininity, whatever. That's why the gendered people, the LGBT spectrum, like, why it encompasses different plays of femininity and masculinity on their thingy. You check what I mean? Why? Because it's not toxicity within itself. It's that element of nature and how we choose to manifest it. So I think they mean like violence is a toxic masculine trait. Not to say that violence is not warranted sometimes. When violence is being done onto you, you can't turn the other cheek. You know what I mean?
Here's my question.
Obviously, violence, everyone knows that's bad. What about making a sexual move on a woman without her consent? Because
toxic. That's what I mean. Something like that is a toxic, is a toxic manifestation of that masculine energy.
However, women do want men to somewhat have that imposing figure and take what
exactly, because that's the thing. Now we go back to what started this thing.
Not all
resources.
Not all women.
Resources.
Yes.
Not all women, but this is a man, woman. This is a human thing now. Resources, we can even, just for this specific point, eliminate the gender. Go back to resources.
But Gibson, it's a good example. Like, how do you know whether you should make a move on someone or not? Like, let's say, for example, you want to hit on a guy, right? You're gonna hit him, and he's either going to accept the offer or tell you to fuck off. He's not gay, right? So the same thing with a girl. Like, you don't know whether she's gonna accept that sexual offer once you need to sort of make that offer for her to deny it or accept it.
You can do it without harassing her, i.e. you can do it without touching her breasts or her behind.
You can do it. You can do it without walking up to her and being like, oh my God, you're the sexiest woman, with some cheesy pickup line. You could do it without any of those things, because women, when people are approaching them, the first thing in their head is not this guy is hitting on me. Well, not all women. I don't want to speak on behalf of all women.
Don't want to speak on behalf of
but I've met different kinds of women. I've met women who like to be dominated. I've met women who say, I want to be dominated. And I've met women who said, no. I'm actually looking for a docile
who want
guy.
To dominate as well.
Who want to dominate. And women who are just like, hey, there's a way, there's a particular way, and that's the way.
What I'm saying. The
view that
is that not that it's an interplay between those two, the give and take? Do you know what I mean? There's a violation in the taking something that is not, that a person does not want to give, and that is a toxic manifestation of that thing. But if it's a give and take, if it's an interplay between the thing, then you don't need to, like, the submission comes natural. Do you understand what I mean?
Well,
like
it comes with the view that
it's like a social cue, like
a woman,
where, you know what I mean? So, not via a person imposing themselves, but just like comply. You recognize what I am. and you comply. That is, it's a little bit, that in itself feels a little bit toxic to say. But
Tamley, hold up. Let Gibson explain further because I'm kind of I'm kind of lost there by you. But Gibson, I don't know. You're trying to explain the nature then of. So you're saying some women want to be dominated, others don't.
Yeah.
So how in life we're not labeled as people, correct? So not the same approach does not work on all people. So how then can one distinguish without that first attempt, where now some may find as appropriate, others may find as inappropriate? How then do we draw that line? Because it becomes very difficult. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
This is with the specific purpose of either getting to know a romantic partner or with the specific purpose of getting laid. Is that only in that context, right? Right? Toxic masculinity, the view that all women, or there's a woman there and she's supposed to respond when I given this thing, that view in itself is toxic. And also places, some women are not always on at the same time, and some women respond to a different vibe at a different place. So it varies.
So the energy,
you also have to read the person. Getting to know somebody, saying hi and being a nice person as if you are meeting a guy or a girl or someone anywhere, just being friendly and reading what they are into and what they like and if they are open for that kind of arrangement. If you oversee and you just assume that I'm going to hit her with this pickup line, she's either going to say yes or she's going to say no. And then if she says no, she will feel harassed. Clearly, it means your approach towards speaking to women or getting something that you want from a woman is not correct.
How do we distinguish between someone's, like, your feelings are objective, right? I understand.
I can't hear you.
Some shit like you can say.
Craig, please repeat that.
I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
So we're basically saying that people's feelings matter, right? Which they do. But where do we draw the line between something that's known to hurt someone's feelings compared to something that's objective and only that person finds offensive? Or might only in that moment find it offensive?
We draw the line by having self-control to know that my pickup line or my thing that I'm doing to this lady might not just work. So you're gonna have to be respectful. You're gonna have to have some sort of self-control, and also read the situation, read the lady, read the environment you're in. Is it the kind of environment where you can throw hoy a line and somebody will be like, yeah? You just have to like measure the situation, really think about what you're about to do, and also be considerate and approach sincerely. Then when the person's like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this, tone it up. Then you read it that, oh, this person wants me to tone it up.
They don't actually understand.
Say, yes, I like it.
I now understand, Gibson, why you say heterosexual interaction is way too complicated.
Yeah, it is.
From what
Gibson
described, it's an entire science.
What? He described it. What I feel like was the essence of what he said was, as a man, this is a human to human thing. As a person, when someone is not into the thing that is happening. It's like there's this thing that we enter to when we go into a social scene or whatever, like, oh, we are now in a flirting type of thing. And now, when someone is not into that thing, that energy that's going on there, how you are. Do you know what I mean?
And when it isn't a thing that you expect.
The thing is that these, I feel like what Gibson is explaining is true, but this is situation that I feel like we all understand and we all know. I'm talking about the fact where sometimes I walk up to a woman and just greet her, and then she's upset with me, and maybe she uses that against me and says like, "Oh, he's trying to flirt with me," and I'm talking about when they start to use that against you. You know, so where do you draw the line? We're giving women the power to say that they can draw the line and get upset about something. So what if I talk to a man comes and talks to me and he just wants to be a friend with me, but I don't want to be his friend. So then I say he's being toxic towards me because he is initiating a friendship that I don't want to have with him.
But the energy...
Is that situation specific? Because is that a common occurrence? Such that you go and say hi to a woman and she just erupts that you're flirting with her. Has that happened? It's happened multiple times? How often does it happen?
How the fuck are you saying hi, Craig?
You're saying hi with the big old dick.
I can pull my dick out and come to them and say, hello, what's up?
You want to meet my little friend?
Now, I think I get
but also
what
when
you mean by it's this energy of, okay, we are now introducing I want to say the concept, we are extending the concept of violation into greeting someone, which is not necessarily what you say, but it's not also necessarily what we do. Greetings are, if all we did was hi, but this wouldn't be a conversation, which means we are talking about the just more than a greet. Do you know what I mean? And now that just more of a greet enters a different type of, now there are different things attached to that energy. Do you understand what I mean? And in that energy now, she's in that position where patriarchy, whatever, made it so that, and fragile what's, made it so that she does not necessarily feel comfortable to say no to your advance.
Yeah, it's about feeling comfortable and uncomfortable. That's what it basically boils down to. And
it's tougher to communicate that because of who you are as the man.
What is that now?
But you as the man is also a human being in terms of you can also pick up energy. So you can also pick up, even though this is what she's saying, man, something is not, sure, you know what I mean? In a moment, that thing hits you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Like, Tamley, here's a simple
example, right?
A personal example.
Go
Probably shouldn't be doing this, but I'll say some nasty shit or do some nasty shit, and she's like, "Ew, stop it." And I've spoken to her about it. I'm like, you know what? It's pretty tricky what you're saying, because I don't know if you actually really want me to stop, or you're saying, I like that. And we have discerned and come to an understanding that, like, she pretty much is always pretty much saying, yo, I like that, when she's saying, ew. When she says, ew, to me, ew, stop it, she's saying, I like that. But now, this is a very fucking tricky thing, because now
that's so tricky.
I become
tricky.
I become so used to this type of, response and behavior. And we are human beings, so social engineering is a constant thing that happens to us. It doesn't work out in this relationship, you move on to the next relationship, and you kind of adopted certain behaviors and certain norms and so on and so forth. You bring them into your next relationship, it now becomes a stumbling block, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Neo. And that is exactly what I'm trying to say, is how deep and complicated this conversation is, because then I will ask you, let's say you move to a next girl, right? You're using moves or whatever, like your actions are based on the last relationship you had with a girl. So is that considered masculine toxicity, or is how do you approach that then? You know?
Yes, because you're assuming that all women like the same thing. If she's going, ew, I like it.
No, look, it's not the assumption.
I like it. That's the way she does it. You go to the next one, you be like,
look, Gibson, that's not the assumption that I'm going into. The assumption is,
oh my God.
Wait, listen, gents. It's not the assumption. You're merely saying.
But I know, but let's just quickly check the framing of that thing. Just check how quickly that changed, and to us as well, because I'm on this ride with y'all. I am a heterosexual having those interactions. But the way just framing it differently made it be like, wait, what? Okay, but go on.
Wait, so what I'm saying we need to assume shit about everybody to communicate with each other. Like, you need to assume that everyone abides to certain laws, right? Be like, oh, I assume you from the same country, and I assume that you abide to the same laws as me. You know,
the extent to which we make those assumptions on the basis of sex, though, is a little bit of a problematic thing. Now, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, cause now it's even like it becomes that same line of thinking of, hey, I don't like a girl I wouldn't date a girl who would do OnlyFans, but that does not mean that my view or my whatever on it should prohibit that girl of taking control, bodily autonomy with her own thing in that way. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand. And I just want to say something. Gibson, I totally agree with Gibson in this. I'm just fucking talking about conversation, and I totally agree with him, because whenever you interact with someone, you need to go openly and sort of see how to say, you can't go with assumptions of how they are. You need to sort of go in with a clean slate and shit like that. I totally agree with you, Gibson. But
here's my chat. The
thing is, a lot of this stuff is subconscious. A lot of this stuff is like, Neo's tried this on a previous woman, it's worked. He uses it on a different girl. Let's say she doesn't like it. He realizes she doesn't like it and he changes. But the mere fact that he has done that, right?
The learning curve.
It's a learning curve.
No. I'm merely saying
that also frames it a little bit. Yeah, that also frames it in a bit of a sketchy way, because now why do we have to learn?
Wait. I'm not assuming that women like the same thing. I'm merely saying, this is me as a man. This is me. This is what I know. This is how I know how to please women. That's
so you're assuming. You're assuming that every woman wants you to be very friendly and not be dominating. You're assuming as well that all women don't want to be dominated.
Why don't we also throw time into the fact that why can't women want those things at different times? It's what I'm saying, the context though. Like, is there not a time to be dominant and a time to like take a more gentler approach to a situation? You know what I mean?
That's reading situation.
Craig, I agree with you when you say we have basement assumptions. We have these assumptions that there are rules of engagement.
Yeah.
And there are some that we can, all four of us agree that, well, we can't assume that this person's DTF on the first night. You know what I mean? We definitely can't assume that. But we can assume that they speak and they understand, hello, can I buy you a drink? You see? So the other thing is that, yes, Neo, we learned how to enjoy our coitus in a specific way. And we've learned from our experience that this is what works 99.99% of the time. Right? So it's not wrong to try it, but then if the response is different this time, you have the opportunity to learn something new. Now you've got a wider range of women you can please. You see? So, but when they say, ew, I like it, then you're like, okay, this is this chick. The other one was going to be like, ew, I don't like that. That's disgusting. Then you're like, I definitely get that.
Wait, is that now saying that that also that trickies it a bit for me now, because is that like saying that whenever you do intend to have, because it's tough to cage yourself, man, to say I only want you. To see somebody and be like, hey, I want to date you. I have intentions of this with you, or that. You know what I mean? So that now messes it a bit for me. What we're talking about in terms of, does that mean we must now kind of sit down? I know communication is the best factor, but sit down and slant rules of engagement with every woman we tend to just have some sort of intention with. Yes. Whether the intention is the sleeping or the vad or the vad.
That's why they say be clear with your intentions from the word go.
Now, let me play devil's advocate for toxic masculinity and what. Now, sometimes, like, not a direct. This game, bro. Sometimes women feel cheapened by maybe agreeing to, hey, man, I see you as. I have maybe there's this intentions with you because I seen you in a specific light. Maybe it could become more, maybe not. But this is what I see there. Sometimes maybe it is again feminist programming, what, patriarchy, whatever. But some women do feel cheapened by that thing. Do you know what I mean? So now directly going into a situation, it's why the game and things like that, that social thing behind that interaction evolved, isn't it not? Because like now we have to go this certain amount of way so that you feel you gave enough and I got enough for this thing to be we're doing this now. We did our societal prerequisites. We're doing this now. Isn't that how that whole thing of game even developed the social norm or whatever? I don't know what to call it, because now it's the same thing, but much more formalizing it.
Listen, Tamley, the toxic nature of it came in the entitlement that men felt once they felt that they checked, the societal check boxes that need to be checked.
Okay, you see, that's why I say it's a little bit dangerous now, because now we're going to formalize that entire concept a bit more if we say, okay, with every, I don't know how to put it.
So you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4 in return. That's where it becomes toxic and dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
So listen here, right?
Yes, Craig.
Do you think a girl that wants to be dominated, wants to be sat down and asked and told, listen, yeah, I want to dominate you, do you agree to that? A girl that wants to be dominated doesn't want to agree to it. That's the whole point of being dominated.
I think the
no, but that also now that thing framed it in a way that negates consent as like a concept. That makes it seem like it's some sort of mutually exclusive thing. That's why I say it comes back to that thing. Submission, bro. Submission. I know masculinity, taking, but it's nice when submission is given. Do you know what I mean?
I think
now
it's
what I'm saying is
given by the person indicating
consent. You understand what I'm saying?
I want to be dominated.
The difference between that and the dominance that that scenario, Craig, that example Craig just made, you think a girl that wants to be dominated is gonna? There's a difference between the consensual side of that and the actual domination side of that. Is that not so? But the consensual thing is the foundational fact. You know what I'm saying? So the violation comes in that, okay, I dominated you, but more than consent, more than you yourself would consensually allow me to. Do you understand what I mean?
Because there's also limits within domination. There's limits within domination.
Of course.
I'm literally, my question that I'm asking it, and I'm creating a question in you that I'm trying to. That's the point I'm trying to prove, is that you start to the question or the example that I'm giving you is making you realize how complicated the situation is. Like Gibson says, there are different levels of domination, right? So when a girl wants to be dominated, I mean, there are different levels to it. So what level is she on? Where do you start? You know, it's really, really complicated. You start to realize how a lot of these,
it becomes
things
less
that you're talking about and realizing now, you do on a subconscious level. And without questioning and talking about it, just realize for a moment how much your brain is processing in a certain context with a certain person at a certain time, and how your brain is actually, you're just talking about it now, bring it to your subconscious, but your brain is doing this all the fucking time while you in like a conversation with someone, making all of these decisions.
Yes, but the thing is, it becomes far less complicated when I'm actually in this situation, and I have.
It's very abstract. Do you understand that?
I have such motivation to keep going with my match. I've got motivation because I'm getting the energy back that this person wants to be dominated, or this person wants this, and I get my fuel from the motivation.
Basically, what you're saying is that
I might be winning, and there are times where I don't win.
It's all about
Gibson. Gibson.
Yeah.
You're explaining,
what am I basically
talking to someone and getting in a flow state with them, where your energy vibes with theirs, and your brain has, without having to question itself, you're riding that waves. You're basically explaining a great conversation with someone. That's what you're explaining now, where your energy
but then
vibes.
also remember that when I am going out to look for something, I am going to find things that I connect with. And when I connect with them, all those other protocols kick in. And then there are times with...
You're basically just describing a great conversation with someone. I'm just saying that in some instances you're going to
Isn't that sex? Sex is just a great conversation with someone. In terms of both people need to that's what I'm saying, the give and take. Both people need to take part in the conversation for the conversation to have that thing that a conversation needs to have to be sustained. You understand what I mean? So for as long as you pick up when that conversation is the conversation is in the same way you can pick up the great
protocol, and then I will activate a different protocol in my head. That wait, this isn't where I need the things to be, and this is not where this person wants things to be. And in that case, in that particular case, given my own personal track record, I will make the conscious. I'll have a subconscious protocol that this isn't working.
So do you then either one, try a different approach, or two, stop engagement completely? Once you have
I wait
in that moment, the communication happens.
And when I don't have the cues, then I back out. Then I stop the engagement, or I de-escalate the engagement.
Your intention.
Is that not the thing? You see that wave we're saying, you tune into great conversation, that energy wave. Now, the moment you feel you are not in tune with it anymore, that's most when you communicate it, isn't it? So in the same way with that dynamic.
To try and continue that convo. That's when that masculine toxicity comes into play.
Okay, so toxic masculinity comes in when you try and continue the conversation once she has shown you indication that she does not want to. That's what Craig is saying, right?
Craig?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems so abstract now. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
We've removed. There's so much conversation.
We have less than a minute. Sorry.
That's all right. I think we should get off the conversation after this. But that is literally my things that I'm saying. When you dive into it and you start realizing what it is you're actually talking about, then you can say, okay, that's masculine toxicity. Okay, but what about the way you approach someone? That goes in a totally different approach because that comes into assumptions from your previous relationships. That's a different conversation that you can go into. So there are so many fucking deep ends that go into just fucking going up to someone and talking to them.